So let's go ahead and create our API gateway. Now for this, let's create a new module. And in here, let's just say next. For the name, I'm going to say API gateway, so G and then W, and then just say finish. Now within this pom.xml in here, we're going to have a couple of dependencies. So let's just say dependencies, and one that we want, and the one which is really important, is the Spring and then cloud dash starter dash and then gateway. So this will give us the API gateway, and you can see that it comes from the parent POM. Now let's also add in the Eureka client. So let me just put this full screen, just like that. Let's also add in the sleuth as well as Zipkin. There we go. So you can see that all of these dependencies, so you've learned about these three dependencies. So Eureka client, sleuth, and Zipkin. Now we are learning about the starter gateway. So now let me just reload this Maven changes, and this should come up fine now. Just give it a second. And there we go. Now let's open up project, and within API gateway, within source, main Java, let's have a new class, and this will be API GW and then application. And in here, let's annotate this with @ and then Spring Boot application. Let's also have the main class. There we go. And within the main class, let's just say Spring application dot run, and then pass API GW dot class as well as the args. Now, one thing which I'm missing is the default package. So here, let's just say package com dot amigos code dot API GW, and let's put this inside. There we go. This is much better. And finally, what we need to do is enable the Eureka client. So just before the application, so at enable and then Eureka and then client. There we go. Now let's open up the resources, new file, application dot and then YAML, and let's define the application name. So application name, this will be API gateway. Let's also define the port. So this will be port. And for the port, I think 8083, I think we're not using this. So let's just this be the very first thing. And finally, let's have the configuration for how to connect to the Eureka server. So let's just open any of these microservices, open up their application.properties. And let's just take all of this and then go back, paste that in. We also need Zipkin. So, oops. So Zipkin should be within Spring. So in here, there we go. And we are good to go. Finally, let's just copy the banner, paste it in, and then let's change this to API gateway. So let me just select everything there, and I already have it in my buffer. So there we go. And we are good to go. Next, let's go ahead and configure our load balancer so that whenever we send a request that is meant to be for customer, then we send it to our customer microservice.